All Americans have a stake in good policing, and I think everybody wants the police to be effective. Everybody wants the police to be good at controlling crime and disorder, and do so in a manner that is respectful of everybody in the communities. The Police Foundation was established in 1970 through a generous gift by the Ford Foundation. The Police Foundation's mission is to advance policing through innovation in science. And our goal is to try to help police departments and sheriff's departments become better and more responsive to the people that they serve in their communities.
The Police Foundation has a long history of adopting and implementing technologies in policing. Among those topics are geospatial systems and crime mapping, and more recently we've taken an interest in body-worn cameras. One of our executives is Chief Tony Farrar, and he has conducted a study on the use of body cameras in policing.
Put your hand on your back and you're going to regret it right now. Okay. Put your hand on your back.
The study with the body-worn video cameras was done over a 12-month time period. What we did is we randomly selected a group of police officers to carry the cameras. Basically what we did was a research experiment that was a randomized control trial. We utilized frontline uniformed law enforcement personnel only. That would be the first responders that would come out to the day-to-day calls for service in your communities, and that amounted to 54 patrol officers, including supervisors.
Turn up the car, let me see your hands, both of you.
After the year-long study, the results were truly amazing.
Step on the car, put your hands all the way up, all right?
The year prior, we had 61 use of force instances, as compared to during the 12 months of the experiment, we only had 25, about a 60% reduction in use of force.
The evidence so far is suggestive that body-worn cameras can be effective in reducing officer complaints and the incidence of police use of force. This is one of our most important areas of interest right now. Probably something that every community is grappling with a little bit in the country. One of the Police Foundation's interests is advancing democratic policing in developing countries. One of our projects where we've done that is in Liberia.
The major objective of the Police Foundation was to help the Liberian National Police Force implement mobile training teams throughout their country. We brought in 20 officers of various ranks from Liberia to spend 3 weeks here in the U.S. They were given instructions on how to train more effectively, looking at adult educational principles, and to try to focus on elements of community policing and a particular focus on dealing with human rights issues.
The idea being that police forces all over the world have the same vested interest in treating people with dignity and respect and working with members of the community to co-produce public safety. Another study that we've conducted here at the Police Foundation is the shift length study. It focuses on 8, 10, or 12-hour shifts for patrol officers.
The methodology we used in the shift work experiment at the Police Foundation was to randomly assign officers to 8, 10, and 12-hour shifts. We had all officers come in during the last 3 hours of their shift, and we tested them on their performance in a variety of simulations, shooting, driving, etc. We tested their reaction time. We did survey measures about their sleep, their fatigue levels while they're on the job, their happiness in their home life and their happiness on the job, and a number of measures that we were able to test in order to distinguish differences. The most important thing that we found is that those on 10-hour shifts were sleeping more than those on 8 or 12-hour shifts. And in fact, they got about a half an hour more sleep per night than those on a traditional 8-hour shift. Those on the 10-hour shifts work significantly less overtime than those on 8-hour or 12-hour shifts, which is a cost savings for agencies. And under these kinds of conditions, cost savings is a really important thing. In general, our findings suggested that 10 and 12-hour shifts had advantages over 8s, and the 8-hour shifts didn't offer any advantage that was unique.
The science that we conduct generally is very rigorous science. We like to do experiments, which means we use a randomized controlled trial model with control and treatment groups. That's the best way to evaluate something, a strategy, whether it works or it doesn't work. The research that we conduct at the Police Foundation is directly tied to our mission of advancing policing through innovation in science. We believe that the world is changing literally every day. Tomorrow, policing will be different, and the issues that it faces will be different than those of today. So we must innovate if we're going to be good stewards of the taxpayer investment in public safety. It is our job to try to help evaluate these either technologies or these strategies so that police chiefs and sheriffs across the country have a better understanding of what works and what doesn't work to control crime and disorder.